know what time it is. We got that fire today. We're going to be dealing with ancient Arabia and the land of Punt, the land of the gods and goddesses. Now, this is what the ancient Egyptians called it. The Tanetaru, the land of the gods and goddesses. And we talking about, the interior of Africa. We talking about down near the Great Lakes region, the Horn of Africa. This is what they call Punt. How do we know that? Because much of what they brought back from that area, frankincense and myrrh, and some of the trees that were only unique to that area. You see, even to this day, but what's crazy, even Sudan got some frankincense and myrrh. They got frankincense and myrrh too. So we got to be clear about that. And so that not only does it include the Horn, it includes southern Sudan, southern Arabia. All that area was under the rulership of the ancient Sudanese Nubians, long before what you see there today. Long before what you see there today. You got to quit tripping. Your chronology start with your adversary. If y'all can't envision them not in the picture. Y'all cannot envision them in the picture. So y'all always find a place for them. And if you don't, then the story ain't right. So I got to wake you up out of that. Now, what's clear about this, and even when we talk about ancient Arabia. Now, the first time that the Egyptians mentioned the land of Punt, you talking about back with the Great Pyramids. You see, you talking about the earliest confirmed mention of the land with 2500, 2400 BCE, 5th dynasty, Sahura, the Pharaoh Sahura is the first one. So that's long before this biblical stuff. People want to talk about Sheba and Solomon and Menelik. And no, long before that, family. We got to go long before that. Solomon is around, what, 1,000. He ain't even real. But at the same time, if we using biblical chronology, Solomon is around 1000 BC. We already talking about 2500 BC. Sahura is already mentioned in Punt. Okay, this long for biblical, and I want y'all to understand that, so y'all can get into the frame of mind that Southern Arabia was black. They were already over there mining. For precious minerals and things. And when you think about it, if you just think about it and use your common sense, when you look at the Red Sea and you can see that they're traveling down to the Horn of Africa, you already know they done went right across the damn sea. That's nothing to sail straight across the sea. So that was one of the first areas that they colonized, was the other side of the Red Sea. That was the first place that they colonized. They set up ports on both sides of the Red Sea. They controlled the whole sea before any other of these people that you see there today was ever there, thousands and thousands of years. You see? And so it's clear that we understand that. Now, when we go even into biblical texts, Arabia, okay, you talking about certain tribes of Ham, who is black. We have to state that. I got on the AI, you know what I'm saying, trying to play these games that they don't speak about race in the ancient world. People been looking at other people and saying, them ain't me. You mean to tell me black people just start looking at other people saying, them ain't me? When they seen Caucasians and looking like they looking, you mean to tell me they didn't distinguish? That's just another tribe? That's all they say. Oh, that's just another tribe. Come on, let's be real about it. 'Cause we got to quit playing games. We got to quit playing games. Anybody that's looking and say, man, what is that? At least other people in Africa got melanin in their skin, and and got some form of a woolly hair, even if they ain't all the same texture as wool. Some tighter wool, some, but it's wool. Okay, which way is wool. Okay, it can be tight, it can be less tight, but it's wool. God damn it, they can look at somebody with straight hair and say, "Wait a minute, whoa, what's that?" I don't know. Wait a minute. I mean, we got our albino, but this right here ain't our albino. This is something totally different. So people acting like that people didn't use the term "quote unquote" race because they don't want us to say that we saw that they wasn't a part of us. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, everybody else in Africa, they've been there long enough, even if they wasn't, maybe they was from a different tribe, but they was known to have been in the land. It wasn't like, oh, they didn't know they was in the land. Okay, they know they was in the land. This one right here ain't never been seen in the land at no point in time. Where did they come from? They not from here. They ain't just another tribe. They something else totally different than what we are. You know what I'm saying? And that had been distinguished from the very beginning. Okay, so people keep thinking people having, because they don't want to see they getting that scar that was left from ancient times ain't never healed up. You see, ain't never healed up. And when you bring this up, it hurt even more than, even in the ancient times. It hurt even more today. And so we're showing that Southern Arabia, and the crazy thing about it, I got Arabs, pale Arabs, that got documentaries online right now telling them other Arabs to quit lying, that they know that they ain't the original ones of the land. I got pale Arabs on top of their head telling them to quit lying, that they know that the Southern Arabia and the rest of it was Hermetic. Got on their head and told them, because the Arab claimed to be Semitic. He claimed to be from the bloodline of Shem. That other, the pale Arab dropping history. Say, y'all ain't got no history coming from, all this Ishmael and all of that. They say, y'all ain't got no lineage to no Ishmael or none of that. You see what I'm saying? Y'all come from Alexander. Y'all came down here when Alexander conquered down that's when y'all came. That's when y'all came. And more so when the Ottomans came down and conquered, y'all reinfused. Other than that, stop playing. That's Southern Arabia was a part of the Nile Valley stronghold. Long before any of what you see today, all that Sabaean and all, that's late. That's late in the game. You see, all of that is mythological. Egyptians and Nubians were known to be high technology. They down there cutting mines and digging in there for gold and all type of precious minerals. And the mines are still there. That's why we don't play no games. When you start dealing with that Egyptian and KUSHITE technology, it's on a whole nother level. So when they get to talking biblical mythology, we get to talking, well, look at these mines. Look at what they mining for. You know what I'm saying? They setting up ports on these lands. They ain't just over here with no mythology or nothing like that. Nah. When you talk about Arabia, now Sheba and Dedan, these are all sons of Kush. They were the first ones that went into what today they call Arabia. Arabia is originally, according to the Bible, Sheba. Sheba is a son of Kush, Ethiopia, Sudan. Okay, let's clear that up. Let's clear that up. So that's what the Bible say. It don't say what they in today, because they didn't did this little mystical magical to get you to believe that the Ethiopia of today is the ancient Ethiopia. And it's not. So when you get to looking at the little mixed breed on the other side and the little hobby shots and they pretended like they the original. You see, I'm not, I understand, conquest has happened, but now you just like the Coptics. Y'all are the children of the oppressor, and they using y'all to co-opt the damn culture. That's what they doing. And so we got to shut y'all down. If y'all want to come on the side and accept, you right, Seti, which is right. It's right in his act. It's right in his act. It's right in his act. So if you come on the other side, we know you're on the team. We understand. And it's all love. It's all love. You shut the door on them. Quit letting the adversary come in, steal our culture, steal our land. You see, still a history. That's what they're doing. So now what's key is that even when Hatshepsut went down to the land of Punt, she went down to the land of Punt. And she, the Nubians had already been going. The Nubians is closer to Punt than the Egyptians. And I didn't already, when I did my video, part of Sudan is Punt. Part of Sudan is Punt. Okay? Because you can see the same trees that Hatshepsut had on, and the way they, them houses that they live in. They had these huts, right? And they put them on stilts. And because when the flood come down and flood it out, you understand? They had their houses up on stilts. And I showed that they got them same houses to this very day in the Sudan. The same ones that's on the Hatshepsut's temple, where she went down to the land of Punt. And the Nubians went down there then. Egypt and Nubia moved together on everything. Everything. Every war Egypt ever fought, Nubians was with Egypt, even when they was fighting the Nubians. Shit. I mean, let's be real about it. That was their infantry. That was their infantry. The Nubians was their infantry. You can see that in the Middle Kingdom. When you see them dial sets, you see the one dial set of the Egyptians, and then you see the other one with the Nubian, and ain't nothing different but one all black and the other one is a darker brown red. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only, they got the same hairdo, look the same. One got a bow in his hand, the other one got a spear. You see, so everything that they did together. And so they call this land the land of the gods, the land of the things that they really held sacred. A lot of the oils, a lot of the, the animals. You see, they would go down there and get certain animals that was only in the South, that was sacred to they rituals and things of that nature. They would go down there and get certain skins of animals, ostrich feathers, ostrich eggs. They would go down and get a leopard, what else was they getting? They was getting leopard skins. They was getting lion skins. It was another giraffe. They was even wearing the giraffe skins. That's on the whole nother degree for them. That's on a whole nother degree. See, we don't want to go there. You understand what I'm saying? That's on a whole nother degree when the brothers wear the giraffe skins. Yeah, we're going somewhere. Yeah, and you don't even hear people talk about that one. But you just got a gem from the general. You see what I'm saying? You just got a gem. Yeah, the cheetah skin too. Indeed. The cheetah skin too. The cheetah skin too. You dropped the gem right there, family. You dropped the gem right there. They better pick it up and run with it while they can. But them is all different degrees. And so what we're showing and proving right here, that ancient Arabia also is an extension. This is a land. This is an actual land. That just show you how connected, because if Sahure went to Punt in the 5th dynasty, he's already, of course they already had relationship with them. Pre-dynastic Egypt. Now, how in the hell you gonna have a relate unless you came from that direction? At some point in time, you had to come from that direction. You had to have contact with them peoples in the interior. And so if they already mentioning them in the fifth kingdom, how ancient is that relationship? And what they call Southern Arabia is an extension of that land that they call Punt. And none of the peoples, I'm about to get up out of here, none of the peoples that's over there today are the original peoples in that land. So I want to bring that up to the family. Let me get this in here. Them people was in the land. No. So that's us. We playing Monopoly today. We ain't playing, but we got all the properties on the board. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the general's lessons, we're gonna have all the property. We're gonna have houses and hotels on everything. We taking back all our properties. You see, we taking back all our properties. Let me drop this in here right quick, family. Drop this link. Get on over there. Support the general over there in Patreon. We gonna be coming all day today. We waking peoples up. Look at Brother Chemistry in the house. Yeah, what's up, bro? I'm gonna get down on that biblical thing tomorrow. I just want to tighten it up. That's why I'm getting on here today. So all the family that's on my Patreon, the Bible, who are the original Jews, the real Jews, that one gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna move it to tomorrow so I can get I pulled my lecture out and I had to dust it off and things of that nature. I got to line everything up. So when I get to rocking and rolling, man, y'all gonna be like, man, the general is still on top, gonna stay on top. You feel what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all, family. We'll be black. We're going live all day. Stay tuned. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on the Wicked Beast Daily. Liberation through African education. Did I pin that? I didn't pin it. Let me pin it. Oh, it is pinned. All right. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on the Wicked Beast Daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black Pop.